Now at 5, we're going to check out some of the damage left from last night's storms. Plus, the KCU Joplin School of Dental Medicine hosts an orientation for its first class of students. And
Republican support for former President Trump is still going strong through his mounting legal troubles. I'm Skyler Henry in Washington with the state of the GOP primary race.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Last night's storms brought down trees and power lines in parts of the 4 states. This is KOAM News at 5. I'm Dow Quick. In Joplin, the storms are blamed for at least one car crash. This was on I-44. They also brought down trees and power lines, leaving many residents without power overnight, as you can imagine. The Joplin Public Works Department opened its free tree limb drop-off site tonight. It's at 1702 North Schifferdecker Avenue. It's going to be open through Friday from 8:30 a.m. until 2 p.m. Another option for Joplin residents is to bundle limbs at branches cut to 4-foot maximum length and place them curbside for pickup on their regularly scheduled trash service day. Lamar, Missouri is among those cleaning up from last night's storm. City officials are working to get debris and damage cleared away, as well as restore power to residents. One resident who had a tree fall on her house says she's thankful for the hard work by officials to help her.
I called 911. They were so good to come out and check. A deputy came out, and then the city came out to check it and see if I was okay. Great job for both of them. Yes.
Lamar City officials say they'll continue to clear out damage and debris throughout the week. KCU Joplin today welcomed its first ever class of students for its brand new College of Dental Medicine. Classes don't start until August, but of course that's right around the corner. The students today were able to get familiar with the campus and their classrooms. Many areas across the country face a dental shortage. The new students say they're excited to fill that gap.
Pursue, my dream of becoming a provider, but also serving this community in Springfield and, Missouri. So I was definitely very excited whenever they were opening this school, just because I would be allowed to practice and start serving this community.
The student orientation will run for 3 weeks. Parsons, Kansas residents tomorrow will vote on whether to renew a public safety sales tax. The tax supports funding competitive pay to retain experienced police officers and firefighters and to pay for training. It also helps buy vehicles and other critical equipment. The tax has been in place for more than a decade. If approved, the tax would continue for another 10 years. Former President Donald Trump is facing mounting legal woes, but still leads the pack in the race to win the Republican presidential nomination. Reporter Skyler Henry has more details from Washington.
Former President Trump's legal trouble appears to be having no impact on his supporters.
I think it's all a bunch of political BS.
A New York Times Siena poll of likely Republican voters shows Trump's lead over his GOP rivals has grown, even after being indicted. Trump's at 54%, followed by Florida Governor Ron DeSantis at 17%. Everyone else is in single digits. Trump's challengers are calling the legal cases a distraction.
You're not going to be able to bring the administrative state to heel, to slay the deep state, to do all this if you have distractions, if you're not focused.
Trump's legal problems continue to mount as a grand jury considers another case by special counsel Jack Smith. This one related to the former president's actions following the 2020 election on January 6th. Trump posted on social media Monday, "I assumed that an indictment from deranged Jack Smith and his highly partisan gang of thugs pertaining to my peacefully and patriotically speech will be coming out any day now." He railed against the investigations during a rally this weekend.
They're not indicting me, they're indicting you. I just happen to be standing in their way, that's all it is.
Some of Trump's supporters are helping him fight the charges. CBS News has confirmed that a pro-Trump political action committee has spent more than $40 million on legal expenses.
Thank you.
For Trump and his aides on multiple legal cases this year. Skyler Henry, CBS News, Washington.
The property manager at former President Trump's Mar-a-Lago estate appeared in court today after being charged as part of the government's investigation into Mr. Trump's handling of classified material. Prosecutors allege Carlos de Oliveira spoke with the former president after he received a subpoena for a security camera video and then told an IT worker at the property that, quote, the boss wanted the server deleted. The judge read the charges against de Oliveira, but he did not enter a plea because he does not have a Florida-based attorney. An urgent search is underway in Haiti for a kidnapped American nurse and her child, Alex Dorsenville. Workers for a nonprofit organization that provides schooling to underserved Haitian students, where she is married to the group's founder. Last week's kidnapping came amid skyrocketing unrest, crime, and gang violence in Haiti after the country's president was assassinated 2 years ago. Still ahead, why more businesses are now allowing four-legged customers. And next in Health Watch, what a World Health Organization report shows about efforts to reduce smoking. Topping today's Health Watch, federal health officials are ramping up their efforts to learn more about long COVID. Patients with the condition suffer ongoing health problems after their initial infection lasting weeks, months, sometimes even years. The National Institute of Health is launching new clinical trials to test 4 possible treatments for long COVID. A new vaccine improves Alzheimer's symptoms in mice. That's according to Japanese researchers. The vaccine targets proteins in the brain that disrupt cell function and reduce inflammation in the brain tissue. The vaccinated mice show improvement in behavior and awareness. Smoking is one of the leading causes of preventable deaths, according to World Health officials. Efforts to stop tobacco use have seen some success, but as the United Nations is pointing out, there's still a long way to go. Reporter Ian Lee has details.
It's known smoking can kill. Now a new report from the World Health Organization is highlighting tobacco's deadly impact.
Tobacco use continues to be one of the biggest public health threats, with 8.7 million people dying from tobacco-related diseases every year.
While roughly 1.3 million non-smokers die every year from secondhand smoke. The UN report also finds there are 1.3 billion tobacco users around the world. Around 80% of them live in low and middle income countries, and tobacco kills up to half of its users. The WHO says the fight to end tobacco use hasn't been easy.
The tobacco industry is a powerful and resourceful industry, which even today continues to grow in terms of profit and influence.
But the WHO pointed to progress, a 5% drop in the number of smokers over the last 2 decades. It credited its Empower program, a series of anti-tobacco efforts countries can use, like highlighting the risks of smoking, helping people quit, and raising taxes on tobacco. The WHO says roughly 70% of the world's population is now protected by at least one of these measures, and adds they not only help nations reduce healthcare costs, having them in place can save lives. Ian Lee, CBS News.
The CDC reports that in 2021, around 28 million American adults smoked, while more than 16 million Americans live with a smoking-related disease. The number of alcohol-related deaths in the U.S. is on the rise, and it's growing faster for women than men. According to data published in the journal JAMA Network Open, men are still nearly 3 times more likely to die than women, but between 2018 and 2022, the death rate increased 14% for women and 12% for men. For patients at high risk for breast cancer, a new wearable ultrasound might be a lifesaver. Researchers at MIT developed a flexible patch that can be incorporated into the bra. It allows the wearer to image the breast tissue from different angles, offering resolution similar to what's used in medical offices. And that is a look at today's health news. Coming up, a judge rules on Johnson & Johnson's latest attempt to resolve tens of thousands of lawsuits over talc powder. Topping today's Consumer Watch, Johnson & Johnson loses its second bid to resolve tens of thousands of lawsuits over its talc products. A federal bankruptcy judge ruled the company was not in sufficient financial distress to be eligible for bankruptcy protection. The decision jeopardizes J&J's proposed $8.9 billion settlement that would stop new lawsuits from being filed. The lawsuits allege the company's talc baby powder and other talc-based products contained sometimes asbestos that can cause cancer. If you bought a Ford F-150 truck in the past couple of years, you need to listen up. Hundreds of thousands are being recalled due to issues with the parking brakes. The recall includes more than 870,000 vehicles from 2021 through 2023. According to Ford, the parking brake might become activated on its own while driving without the driver doing anything. That can increase the risk of a crash, as you might imagine. You can have your vehicle inspected at a dealership free of charge. About 65 million households nationwide now have a dog. 46 million have a cat. That's according to the American Pet Products Association. This rise in pet ownership comes as people are having fewer children. Reporter Nancy Chen found out that more businesses are now allowing four-legged customers.
If you're searching for some bark with your breakfast, look no further than Boris and Horton Cafe in New York. Puddles come with coffee, and while the humans work, dogs are often having a ball. Copy Holzman and his daughter Logan Mickley opened Boris and Horton 5 years ago.
You were really one of the first of your kind. What was the idea behind it?
We opened it based on a need we have. We thought, wouldn't it be nice if we both could take our dogs, go inside, drink a cup of coffee, have some food, and here we are.
It's not just coffee and food for humans. Dogs can try cookies, cupcakes, donuts, and yes, you read that right, caviar. It's so successful, they recently launched a second location. I brought my pup Harper along for the conversation.
Were you worried it wouldn't work?
I don't think we were ever worried that it wouldn't work. Our first opening weekend, it was like a line around the block.
It's not just in New York. Pet-friendly cafes are popping up all over the U.S.
People think of their pets as children, and people will tell you that they are a member of the family, just as their children are.
Sociologist Kathleen Gerson sees it as a cultural shift. 1 in 3 pet owners now refer to themselves as mom or dad. And Gerson says it's connected to the sharp decline in the U.S. birth rate.
What kind of challenges are young people facing today if they want to start a family?
Time, money, and childcare.
Gerson says because of those obstacles, many millennials are turning to pets like cats and dogs, not just for companionship, but to have something to nurture.
He's me and my wife's first fur baby.
First fur baby,
yeah.
So you would call him your baby,
yeah,
your child.
Yeah, he's our child.
Nancy Chen, CBS News, New York.
Sounds like some of those dogs eat better than we do. That company, Boris and Horton, it is approved by the health department. The business says they take all the proper precautions, including keeping food prep and dogs totally separate. As summer heat strains air conditioners across our country, researchers say 1 in 4 Americans is uncertain about being able to pay their energy bills. They could have their electricity cut off if they're overdue. Experts say just 19 states restrict summer shutoffs by utilities. Last year, utilities cut power to more than 3 million households. The city of San Francisco issued a notice of violation against Twitter. The social media platform recently installed a new flashing X sign on top of the building that houses its headquarters. The complaint says the new sign was placed without a permit. City officials say they've tried to inspect the roof area twice, but they were denied access. A representative for the company told city officials the sign is being used temporarily for an event. Sam Lane is going to join us next with the full forecast.
Well, it certainly was a lot calmer today than yesterday at this time, and certainly yesterday evening with all those severe thunderstorms. But it got up pretty warm today with mostly sunny skies, including Seneca, Missouri with Indigo Sky Casino and Resort. You can see mostly fair conditions, just a few high clouds out there. But at least the rainfall did cool the temperatures off a little bit. 94 only for the high today. 70 was the low, but we were still above normals as far as that goes. And look at the rainfall, about 6/10, almost 7/10 last night, but we're still behind for the month, and we're going to finish up behind. And of course, we're about 11 inches behind on rainfall still for the year. Radar right now in our local area is all clear. Maybe a few little sprinkles up there to the north and east of St. Clair County. Taking a wider view, you can see, excuse me, some scattered showers and storms stretching from northwestern parts of Missouri through the St. Louis area into southern Illinois, and that's where the storm track is going to be tonight. Temperatures right now are not that bad. It could be certainly a lot worse. Check out Nevada and Stockton. They're only in the upper 80s right now. Meanwhile, Sedan, 98 degrees, 96 in Independence, 97 down in Nowata. Right now in Joplin, a pretty nice evening. 93 degrees, south-southeast winds at 13. Feels like 97 though, because the dew point is up there at 68 and the pressure is currently falling. Now tomorrow, we're going to go back to summer-like, with temperatures feeling like 111 in Joplin and Baxter Springs, Grove, Veneta. Just unbearably hot tomorrow, so definitely make sure that you stay hydrated. And then as we go into Wednesday, again, the heat just continues with highs feeling like in the 109 range across our area, 111 up in Nevada. And then on Thursday, a little bit cooler, at least it'll only feel like a little above 100 with 100 in Lockwood, 102 over there in Stockton. Rain chances are going to remain low for the next several days. The rain storm systems have pushed up towards the north and east. You can see that on the rainfall forecast. Most of the rain is going to stay up to the north. Now, as we go into Thursday night and Friday, we might start to see some scattered showers developing across our area, but rainfall amounts should still be on the light side. High pressure is going to be in control this week as we go through. You can see the ridge building over our area, and that's going to put us under the heat dome for several days in a row. And then as we go towards the weekend, the jet stream is going to start beating down this high and push it out of the way, and that will allow some cooler weather and also rain chances increase across our area. But tomorrow, mostly fair in the morning with lows in the 70s. And then in the afternoon, you guessed it, temperatures right around 100 degrees yet again. And then as we go into Tuesday night, Wednesday morning, lows in the upper 70s to around 80. And Wednesday afternoon, hot once again with highs in the low 100s, 104 out towards the west. And then as we go into Thursday morning, lows in the 70s. How about the next 7 days? Well, Dow, I hope you like the heat, because we're looking at 102 on Tuesday, 104 on Wednesday, 103 on Thursday. Finally getting a little bit of a break as we head towards next weekend with temperatures closer to normal with highs in the lower 90s, even 88. That'll feel like a cold wave around here.
You know, and it's funny when we talk about 88 being relatively chilly, but it is. It's a big difference from 104.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Wow. Thanks, Sam. We'll be right back. Up next on the CBS Evening News, a look back at the life and career of Pee Wee Herman actor Paul Reubens, who passed away yesterday. Then on KOAM News at 6, we're going to have more on the area's storm damage and, of course, those power outages. Plus, Wallet Hub releases its list of the best and worst states for health care. We're going to see where our area states landed. And the MLB trade deadline is almost here. We're going to see what moves the Cardinals and Royals are making. Stay with us for the CBS Evening News and then KOAM News at 6. Well, it's a discovery for the history books. Archaeologists say the ancient ruins of Roman Emperor Nero's private theater were discovered in Rome. The site is located near the Vatican and is believed to be where Nero rehearsed poetry and music in the 1st century AD. Experts are describing the discovery as being, quote, exceptional. Yeah, I would think so. Well, the theater was mentioned in ancient Roman texts. Its exact whereabouts had never before been documented. Some of the artifacts recovered include glass goblets, coins, and remnants of musical instruments. And yes, Nero had his own private theater. Do not think he had Netflix or HBO or CBS or Fox programming. So in a lot of ways, yeah, he had it pretty good, but not as good as you.
I wonder if that's where he was playing his fiddle when Rome burned.
You know, I don't know if that is just apocryphal or if that's actually true, but if he did that, that's probably where it happened.
That's probably right. Maybe they'll find the violin.
Yeah.
All right, well, we do have some hot weather across our area. We're going to feel like we're going to be burning over the next few days with 102 on Tuesday, 104 on Wednesday, 103 on Thursday. But then finally, we get a break in the heat with temperatures dropping closer to normal with highs in the 90s, even 88 on Tuesday, and also an increased chance of showers and thunderstorms. And I even have more good news. The long-range forecasts look like, at this point that early August may be actually below normal.
Whoa, really?
We'll have to wait and see. Cross our fingers.
Please join us more often and give us
Yes,
good news like that.
absolutely.
Possibly, no promises. Thanks for joining us. CBS Evening News is next. We'll be right back here at 6. Let's make it a great evening.